Hello, everyone. I am Julianne Meyer. You are watching Seizing Your Greatness, and I'm excited to be here today. You may notice I've got a slightly different background than usual. It's because we're building out a new studio. Woo! But this guest that I have coming on, Kim Zangar, she is a truly remarkable woman and somebody that I just couldn't wait to have on the show. So I figured, you know what? Instead of putting it off, let's make it happen. And I'm just going to bring her up and we will start talking. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much
I'm
for
excited.
we've been trying to make this happen for a little while now, and thank you for dealing with all of the ups and downs of technology and also studio space. So I appreciate you being here today. And I mentioned that you are a truly remarkable woman, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You've impressed me with not only how you've shown up in life, but how your commitment to serving others has been the through line through everything that you've done. And I would love for you to share with the audience a little bit about who you are and how you got where you are today.
Well, could be described as a wife, a mother, a grandmother. But earlier on in my life, when I was 16 years old, I was hit by a drunk driver. And so when I became an adult, I decided the best thing to do about that was to become a state trooper. So I did spend 25 years out there on the roads, um, helping people out. And my goal was to get as many drunk drivers as I could off the road so other families would not go through what I went through. And even later on in my career, I learned how to do that for drug impaired drivers as well.
Oh, I love that. Taking something, I guess that the saying, pain for purpose. I really like that. It seems to have applied to you. You took something that's considered negative, very much so, and used it to sort of change things around. You did that for 25 years. And I'm curious, before we get into where you are now, what are some of your favorite things that you were able to do or help people that you were able to help?
It's funny. Some of them are very simple. It could be changing a tire for an older person. I was on the side of the road changing a tire for a retired doctor who'd gotten older and couldn't do it himself. And he was kind of mortified that a girl was changing his tire. And I said, but he told me stories about stitching up people that had been hit by drunk drivers. So we were able to connect. And then I reminded him that right across the freeway, there were two 6'5" troopers watching us. But that was okay because that was my job and I appreciated them letting me do that. But that kind of made him laugh. And, it's simple things. And sometimes people are in collisions and they may not be too serious for what I've seen, but everybody, it's serious for them. So if you can come and help them through that difficult moment in their life,
Hmm.
what we're meant to do is to help people through those difficult moments.
I really like that because right before I got married a few years ago, I was in a really bad accident and it was my fault. And I got to tell you, nobody realized that it was my fault because I walked out of it. I shouldn't have. The car was totaled, but the police officers were so kind to me because I was so apologetic. I mean, obviously, it was an accident. I didn't do it on purpose. I'm not out to like destroy things in people's lives. Nobody really is. So I thank you for being there for other people because somebody was there for me and it did mean a lot. So thank you for that.
Well, and I still remember when we were hit by the drunk driver, I still know the officer that investigated it. It's a big
Wow.
deal when it happens. There's many of us that run across each other years later, and we
I
did
never thought
cross
about that.
each other's careers quite a few times.
Oh, that's fascinating. I'm assuming it was a man. Did he remember you?
He remembered me. It was the days of mini skirts.
Ah.
That was what he remembered more than anything, but yes, he did remember me.
That is so funny. I appreciate that honesty. So, I mentioned in the very beginning that there's this through line of you helping people. So, after 25 years of service on the roads, you decided, you know what? I'm not really down for retiring and just sitting back. So, what did you decide to do next?
It's funny. I'm not able to retire. And I entered the world of toxin-free products because I started allergies at 8 years old. So when you have allergies, you have to learn to find alternatives. And once
Mhm.
I found that there were alternatives and knew that that could be the answer for other people, I decided to do it as a business. So I have done that now for 11 years.
I love that because I used to work in pharmacy and I'm all for Western medicine, but at the same time, there's always all these side effects and things because it is a poison. You are putting something into your body that doesn't belong there. And so I love the idea of doing things as naturally or as non toxic as possible. Um, what are some of the things that you've been able to do, accomplish, or see with other people through non toxic products or living?
Well, breathing is one because there's so many toxic products in the world. But I think one of my favorite stories just happened a couple weeks ago. And I was at a horse show with my grandchildren because that's our passion. And one of the ladies mentioned she had a headache, that she always lives with a headache. And her next step would be Botox injections. And then she
Hmm.
referred to medications she had that have given her, made her have nightmares, made her fall down, given her neuropathy. And now she's about to do another one that could have side effects because we all watch TV, so we all know medications have side effects. So I have a
Hmm.
simple headache stick that I've been using myself for years now and let her try it. Nothing toxic in it. And it got rid of her
Hmm.
headache. So if I can save somebody going down a really difficult road, it's pretty rewarding to me.
I really like that because I mean, honestly, what do we have to lose when we're trying something different? And I think that especially in the Western world, because I've had the opportunity of living abroad and stuff, but we're just sort of taught that medications are the answer for everything, the cure all. And I'm just curious what kind of I don't know, barriers or do people put up when you start talking to them, "Hey, this could actually work for you," because they're like, "I've tried this and this and this and this." So, what kind of issues do you come up against?
I don't think I get resistance from the people that have tried this, this, and this because they're looking
Hmm.
for an answer. So in her case, we haven't known each other very long. When I had a possible answer for her, she was willing to try it. People that if I just say, "Hey, I teach people about toxin-free products," those some of those people shut down. You know,
They're like,
not everybody likes law enforcement either, so I'm used to rejection, and I just try to work with the people that need or want to learn more. And sometimes it's their friends. I had a text message this morning from somebody in South Carolina who wants me to meet with a friend of hers. So that's the easier way to meet with people. I just keep offering, and I talk more about problems and then solutions. And if I talk
so
about, oh, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if I talk about somebody who is lunch for mosquitoes,
Hmm.
I will get some people to listen because I have an answer. If I talk about sunscreens that the study they did this year, 75% of them were dangerous, and you want to save sunscreen, and I have something that can help them, then they tend to listen. Those who want to listen, and those are the people that I can help, the ones that want to listen.
Well, not everybody wants help, and that's not the answer for everybody because we should be our own advocates. But I'm just curious too because I'm very familiar with functional medicine and, just sort of trying things from a more holistic approach. What are some things that can improve with people if they start, say, using non toxic products or just start implementing some? I mean, is there like a tipping point or how does it kind of work?
I think, well, for me, I started on the toxin-free journey very seriously 11 years ago. And the first thing I noticed is when I went to the doctor, he says, "Wow, your lungs are clear," because I'm
Mhm.
asthmatic. And so when he says, "You are breathing better, what have you done?" That tells me it's working. For me, that's going to be home care products
Mhm.
because toxic home care products are like smoking 20 cigarettes a day. They damage their lungs. They're much harder on women because women do more of the cleaning. And these ladies that do cleaning for a living with toxin-free products, that's really hard on their lungs.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative that they do cleaning. If they clean my house, they don't have to worry about it because I won't let them use toxin products in my house. But for me, I'll have an asthma attack if I'm around bleach. So I think breathing is the first thing you notice. I mean, there's other things like healthier hair, healthier skin. Even the microbiome on your face communicates with your gut. So it does matter what you put on there. And what you put on your skin, it's in your system in 30 seconds.
Exactly. And people don't even realize that is our biggest organ is
It is.
skin. But
Absolutely.
when you're talking about products, I know a lot of people don't think about things like dryer sheets, for example,
Yeah.
and
Scary.
which are, I know, one of the scariest things out there. But what are some alternatives? Because, whenever I smell that scent as I'm, say, walking down the street, I just think poison, poison, poison.
Well, I agree with you. And once you switch and you do toxin free, you smell those things more.
Yeah.
I use wool dryer balls, because people still want fluff. People
Hmm.
still want their stuff to dry. And if
Yes.
they want to, they can add a little bit of a true essential oil onto that dryer ball.
Oh, I
I
really
don't.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I
want
was
to make
just
sure
curious
it's a good
too,
one.
like, because there's fragrance-free dryer sheets out there. Are those just as bad, or do you know? I don't, because I'm just curious. I have no idea.
I haven't read those, but I would think they could have some of the most same toxic ingredients. I will say I did the research on the laundry sheets. That's a
Yeah.
new thing. And I had a lot of people ask me that. So I took out the ingredients list and oh my gosh, don't do it. They are full of bad ingredients. And a lot of those are carcinogens. Even in
Mhm.
our regular laundry detergent that people have been using for years. If they
Yeah.
truly read the ingredients, they'll find out they're dangerous.
Well, I've always been sensitive, and when I was younger, I used to break out these little white bumps everywhere from the laundry detergent. So and somebody with strong perfume walks by, I sneeze. So yeah, there's a lot out there that the average person just doesn't even understand that it's going into their system. Now what about um when it comes to, you mentioned cleaning products, what are some of the worst offenders?
Um, Window cleaners. Without
Oh,
naming a
really?
brand, it's the worst. Well, think about it. You're spraying the window and you're breathing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
there's pretty toxic bathroom cleaners as well, but the window cleaner is one of the absolute worst. The other thing is dish soap.
Hmm.
A lot of really
Really?
toxic, yes, there's a lot of toxic dish soaps. And even if it does clean ducts at an oil spill, does not usually have it in your house. There are certain things people that are products are used for. And there's
Yeah,
petroleum in so many products now. Lip balm,
yeah.
petroleum
Well,
in
I
it.
think it's petroleum jelly.
It's good for you. But there's a lot of safe options. So it's just a matter of I think what I like to do for people is I think it's overwhelming. I'm sure when you decide to go on that journey of having things toxin free, it's overwhelming and it makes you want to shut down because
Mhm.
it's just,
Yeah.
I feel that way sometimes about some food changes. Like, okay, I got to remember to do this and not do this. And it's just, if someone hands me a list of what I can eat, I'm good. It helps me. And we have that list, or I can help people. If they say, well, skin irritation is a good example. I had a
Mhm.
gentleman come to me who had a 2-year-old that was just itchy all the time. He says, what do we change? I said, start with laundry detergent. And it changed. I don't know that that's going to be the answer for her. She could have some problem that I don't know about. She could be allergic to something she's eating, but fortunately, that solved her problem. Sometimes it's a very easy switch.
Well, that's the thing too, is something as simple as that. Why not? Why not just do that for your health anyway? As long as you're getting clean and your clothes are clean, Why would we poison ourselves in the meantime too? So
And why wait for a cancer diagnosis to be told you should use aluminum-free deodorant? Use it now.
true.
Don't wait for a diagnosis.
Yeah.
This makes more
Yeah.
sense to
Exactly.
me.
Well,
So
I'm with you on that one. Unfortunately, a lot of times that's one of those things. And, I come back to gluten, for example. When I used to think, oh my goodness, how silly is it? There's gluten free makeup. And then I thought, oh my gosh, of course there's gluten free makeup because it goes on your skin. So if you do have a sensitivity to gluten, then yeah, of course that would be something that's important to think about. So,
yeah, I have a neighbor who is sensitive to gluten and it gives her migraines. So
mm,
I actually learned that from her before I started with this company, and all of our products happen to be gluten free.
mhm.
But I learned that from her, and it isn't anything I'd even thought of.
Wow. I
It's
love that.
when we don't have it, we don't think about it. When we live with a sensitivity, we think about it. For me, also, I have 4 grandchildren. I wanna get them the best stuff out there because
Yeah.
we always learn, "Oh, you shouldn't have used X."
Yeah.
How about we do that ahead of time instead of going back and saying, "Well, if you hadn't used that, you might be healthy." So,
Well, and that's the thing too that I think that most people aren't even aware of it. A lot of products that are not legal in other countries because of their toxicity are legal in the United States. So, and it's just kind of a normal way of doing things. So, if we can start just eliminating it from the beginning, like you said, then we don't have to even deal with that. So, I love this idea of being proactive versus reactive.
I mean, that's
So,
true with everything. You do fire prevention, right?
mhm.
You wear seat belts, do things to prevent the tragedy. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big word for that, but it isn't if it's an allergic reaction. A friend of mine's son got bug spray on his face that had DEET. Everything swelled up. He had a big allergy. And
Wow.
DEET can have a lot of, without an allergy, can have a lot of negative reactions. So,
Well, exactly, and it's just fascinating to me because there's just so many products out there that are available that actually do harm, and you think you're doing good. But what are some things that people should be looking for when they are purchasing products, or at least to make themselves aware from the very beginning?
well, we have a pocket guide that covers harmful ingredients, and I have this. And if anybody wants it, they can just drop me an email and I'll send them a copy. And it has things on it, fragrance. I think that's people don't realize that that's filled with chemicals. And it also covers over 3,000 different ingredients. So you may
Mhm.
buy something at the store that works for you fine this month. You buy it
Mhm.
next month, same label, not same ingredients. So that's real
Ah,
deceptive.
fascinating.
Yes. Fragrance is to me the biggest warning word on any product, just because it's so easy to pick out. If you pick it up and it says fragrance, put it back. You can
Yeah.
have things that are scented with a good essential oil. You don't have to
Mhm.
give up smelling good. You just have
Yeah.
to give up some of those toxic fragrances.
So
There's
people can email you for this guide?
yes, just ask for the guide and I'll know what it is. If they say
Perfect.
anything, I'll figure out what it is since it's the only thing we're talking about today. Um, But it has everything in it. Things don't people don't think about, the petrolatum, which is a petroleum product, which,
Mm,
every time you're putting that, depending on the brand you're using, of lip balm on your lips, you can put
yeah.
it on oil. It's actually the byproduct from when they make oil and gasoline. It's the stuff that comes off the pumps. It sounds a
Ah.
bit different when you realize it's the waste material that you're getting, and, it's not good. It's full of, hydrocarbons that can cause cancer. So, the list has just ingredients and what their potential cause is. It's not a list of products. It's a list of when you go shopping, this is what you wanna look for to
Mhm.
avoid. So and when you mention things in Europe, there's actually over 3,000 different ingredients that are illegal in Europe. There are 11 in the United States.
That is insane to me.
We
If we're supposed to be pro-life, I would think that we would make quality of life also important.
Well, and where we see a lot of it too is, especially with teenagers, all the different makeups they buy.
Yeah. I just think about back in the day when I would go to Wet n Wild, it was like $1 for a lipstick. There's a
Yeah, when
reason why it's $1.
I know everybody thinks it's a great deal when you can get something really cheap, but I wore that stuff too. Oh my gosh, that perfume I wore in high school, Tigress, I think it was. I myself there. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty
I think about
smart.
well, even, I used to do plugins, at my house, and that was one of the first things that I got rid of were plugins because of the chemicals that I was breathing in. Yeah, it smelled good, but
You know, and that's one that people don't think about. That's also really hard on their pets.
yeah.
And if
Oh,
it's
see, there you go.
and if it's hard on our size adult lungs, think about what it does
Yeah.
to children. There was a picture I saw where somebody laid their plugins on the table and it leaked out and ate the top of the table. Well,
Wow.
plugins are
Yeah.
not good. There's other options. You can use, there's lots of other options. And those are
There are.
things I can help people with if
I
they want.
love that. And so I popped up your website again for those that are just joining us now, so they can find out a little bit more about what it is that you're doing nowadays. And I just also want to say thank you for that because um, people don't know. I mean, I happen to have been in the health and wellness space for quite some time, but otherwise, I would never know. It's not something that is common knowledge. So, for those that do and are aware, we're not trying to talk down to anybody. We're just trying to inform those that aren't, and also maybe give you some new ideas, some fresh ideas. Because I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for household products that actually work, that are non toxic. I want my bathtub clean and I do not want to use like a scrub and bubbles or anything. I just because when I can't breathe afterwards, that's an issue. I know that there's something there that I should not be breathing in.
Right. I had a lady tell me one time, it's no big deal. I just spray the stuff and run out of the bathroom.
Yeah. That's an issue. And then it's like, that doesn't just go away because it's kind of the scent has sort of died down. I mean, it's still there. The poison is still there. So, we are running a little low on time because we're almost at the end. So, I did want to take this opportunity to ask you, is there something that you wish that I would have asked you that maybe I hadn't?
Um, I don't know. I just think that if people want help, ask questions. Don't go and struggle trying to figure out all these big words on your own. Get the
Yeah.
list. Ask me questions. I'm happy to help you. It's what I
Yeah.
do. I do this for me. I do it for my grandkids. And when you talk about the smell still being there as an asthmatic, I can walk into a room where you don't smell it.
Hmm.
I will have an asthma attack. So maybe I was given that gift of asthma, which I've never felt like a gift, but it does help me notice things that other people need to be aware of.
Exactly. Like I have a sensitivity to gas, and I mean like the kind you can't smell in the house, because I almost died from carbon monoxide poisoning. So there, even though there is no scent, there is.
Right. And you'd be a good person to travel with because then I wouldn't have to worry, right?
Exactly. I'm like the human sniffer.
You're like the canary in the mine, right?
I'm the canary. I'll be, and it's funny because even where I used to live, I was upstairs and I could smell it. I said, I think there's a burner on. And my husband was like, no, there isn't. I said, go check. I'm quite positive. And it turns out there was. So
Mhm.
so it was leaking and nobody, I mean, he couldn't smell it. I could. But anyway, we are almost out of time, and I just wanted to pop up your email one more time for those that are curious, and also mention that I too have seen this and have a copy of this list. And even though I thought I knew because I'm so educated, I learned some stuff. So I highly recommend you reach out to Kim and get this list for yourself. And also check out some of her products as well, because especially the headache stick. I would love for you to talk about that really quick. We only have about 30 seconds left, but I know that that's something that you're super proud of, and rightfully so.
So allergic to aspirin, age 8. Hit, went through a windshield at age 16. Hit, that was the drunk driver. I've had migraines
Mhm.
my whole life. So I found one of the first products I tried with this company is a headache stick. So I still get the aura, and I was to the point where I was going blind with them. I would lose my vision. It's kind of inconvenient when you're not home. So I
Yep.
just take this headache stick out and rub it on my temples. Within
Yeah.
a couple minutes, I'm fine again. So I haven't had a migraine in over 3 years.
Wow.
For a
I
migraine
love that.
sufferer, that's just liberating, right? It means I can
It
still
is.
be at those birthday parties and the family
Exactly.
get-togethers and not have to go hide in a car.
Mhm.
So
Yep, I love that. Well, Kim, thank you so much for being here today. That is all the time that we have. And to our audience, thank you for joining us. Please join us again next week, next Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific. We will be back again. And until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Bye for now.